Moodz616 sucks fucking dick. What a fucking asshole, man. I met him at Wasteland. Fucking dickhead. Goddamn. Fuck him, man. Fuck. It looks.
A tisket, a tasket, a bloody basket. Cut his head and ate his leg. Now he's in a casket.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to another random horror review. I am your host Moodz616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, episode 17 is here, and I've got another one courtesy of Anchor Bay. This one right here, man, I have to say that the cover art on this is not very appealing. If I saw this in a store, man, I'd probably just kind of continue on by without giving it a second look. I don't know, man, this type of cover art doesn't really do it for me, but this one is from 2014, starring Kate French, and it is called Echoes. Yeah, from Anchor Bay. Now, look at that cover art. I don't know, man. I find it to be super generic. You know, I don't know. But anyways, getting into the synopsis of this one. The story basically follows your main character, Ann Parker. She is a writer, like a columnist. Yeah, she's a writer. She does, write stories. She writes for, online stuff. The thing with Ann is that she suffers from nightmares and like sleep paralysis. So basically what sleep paralysis is when you're sleeping and having really bad nightmares, you actually get paralyzed in your sleep. You can't move. You're like, you can wake up but you can't move and stuff. So, but in a way it kind of actually does help her out with her writings and stuff. She has like these really crazy vivid dreams and these crazy weird sleep paralysis that actually kind of helps her, develop these stories and, keeps her, vivid imagination running wild. But unfortunately, it's gotten a little too much for her, and her boyfriend is actually her boss. He runs this big magazine or this big publishing house or whatever, and but it's gotten a little too much for her, so he has actually a place out in the desert. It's called the Glass House, and it's literally just a really, really nice house that's made out of glass. And he says to her one day, he's like, well, since these things are getting a little too intense for yourself, maybe some time away from everything, give yourself some time to regroup, and, just kind of gather your thoughts and stuff, and then, maybe I'll help you write another story out there. So that's what they do, man. They go right out to this glass house. They kind of set up shop. Of course, the next day he gets called back into work where he actually has to go back into the city, leaving her alone there with his dog. And of course, she starts seeing like these weird apparitions. She started having these like really crazy, vivid nightmares and shit like that. And of course, things start happening to her that she can't explain. So yeah, I'll just leave the synopsis right there. Now my thoughts on this one. This movie right here definitely has it had potential to be a pretty decent film. I think the main problem is with this one is that it's just way too, it's just too obvious, it's too predictable. There's not really a lot of tension, it's kind of anticlimactic. There's a lot of adjectives I could describe this film that, and it's just, and it's something that we've all seen before. This type of storyline has been done a million times too. And, that's fine. It's very formulaic, in that sense. But, I just find it doesn't do those elements to this type of film well enough to succeed as a good film. Like I said, man, this one right here is a major slow burn. It has a very slow approach to it, Once she starts kind of figuring out things, it still never really kind of picks up. And reading to the end, I find that the film is very kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. And very predictable, and that was the biggest problem in this film. Like, I was predicting things left and right that were happening, and then sure enough, it all came down to what exactly I was thinking was going to happen. That's just not good enough for me, man, right there. I do like the look of the setting of the film, though. In the desert, in that glass house, I really do like where they actually set this film. It's shot pretty well. It's actually acted pretty decently. There's not a lot of characters. Like I said, there's her boyfriend, and a couple other random characters in this one. And that's really about it, man. So the acting's not so bad for what it is. The soundtrack is very kind of ominous in this. It's got like a real kind of slow, kind of creeper type vibe to it that I really do actually kind of like the music in this. I find some of the music cues in this are just like from Halloween, actually, which is actually kind of weird. Just not as good, obviously, but yeah, this one right here, if you're into slow burns, maybe give it a look or something like that. But it is a very, very slow film, very predictable. And the biggest downfall of this film, it was very anticlimactic. I mean, you could predict everything that was going to happen. It was just very, very sad to me. I was like, really wanted to kind of like this film and even recommend it, but I don't know, man. It's just very generic, and that's just unfortunate. So, like I said, it has potential. It's like a horror thriller / drama type film with psychological elements. So it has like a lot of different things going on in it, but I don't know. In my opinion, just not good enough to even recommend. Echoes from 2014, man. I'm sorry, I can't recommend this film. I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 10. I just think it was just way too generic. I mean, the slow burn to it, it doesn't affect me at all. I love slow burn films. I just think this one was way too generic for its own sake. And, it does suffer from almost trying to be like too creepy in certain spots. And I think that it just didn't work. Even on those levels, I just found it didn't work at all. Super unfortunate, but Echoes, that's gonna be my review for 2014 film, Echoes. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for episode 17. Hope to see you guys in episode 18. Got a really good review coming up tomorrow, so definitely check that out. Peace out, homies.